So, let me get this straight, Ji-hoon said, setting down his coffee cup with an amused smile. You want me, a complete stranger you just met 5 minutes ago, to pretend to be your boyfriend at a family wedding? Min-jae's face burned with embarrassment. He couldn't believe he'd actually said it out loud. But here he was, sitting across from possibly the most handsome man he'd ever accidentally crashed into, desperately hoping the stranger would save him from 2 weeks of family interrogation. I know it sounds insane, Min-jae admitted, fidgeting with his phone. But I'm completely out of options. Rewind to 3 hours earlier. Min-jae had been having a perfectly ordinary morning at the art gallery until his phone rang. His mother's face lit up the screen, and he just knew, this wouldn't be good. Min-jae, wonderful news. Your cousin Hannah's wedding is in 2 weeks, and I've already told everyone about your boyfriend. They're all so excited to finally meet him. His stomach dropped. 6 months ago, during a particularly brutal family dinner where his aunts had lined up 3 separate blind date prospects, Min-jae had panicked and invented a boyfriend. A convenient, fictional boyfriend who was too busy with work to attend family gatherings. Mom, about that? No excuses this time. Your grandmother specifically asked about him. You're bringing him, or I'm setting you up with Mrs. Park's son. He's a dentist, very successful, and I'll bring him. Min-jae blurted out. He'll definitely be there. Absolutely. 100%. After hanging up, Min-jae had slumped over his desk in despair. His brother Seo-jun's text didn't help. Mom just called me. You're so screwed, faced with tears of joy. Min-jae had spent his lunch break frantically scrolling through his contacts. His friend Woo-jin? Dating someone. His colleague Daniel? Straight. The guy from his pottery class? Moved to Singapore last month. He'd been walking back to the gallery, drowning in panic, when someone knocked into him from behind. His papers exploded across the sidewalk, gallery catalogs, the dreaded wedding invitation, his mother's list of boyfriend requirements. She'd texted him. I'm so sorry. A warm voice said. Strong hands helped gather the scattered papers. I wasn't watching where I was. Min-jae looked up and forgot how to breathe. The stranger had gentle eyes, dark hair slightly tousled by the wind, and a smile that could melt glaciers. He was holding Min-jae's wedding invitation, reading it with obvious amusement. Family wedding? The stranger asked. Those can be intense. And that's when Min-jae's mouth had betrayed his brain completely. Back to the present. So you lied to your family about having a boyfriend, Ji-hoon summarized, leaning back in his chair. And now you need someone to play the role for a weekend. That's actually kind of hilarious. My life is falling apart, and you think it's hilarious? Min-jae groaned, dropping his head into his hands. A little bit, yeah. Ji-hoon's eyes sparkled with mischief. But I get it. Family pressure is real. He paused, studying Min-jae thoughtfully. What's in it for me? Min-jae hadn't thought that far ahead. I'll pay you? I can offer. I don't want money. Ji-hoon waved dismissively. But I'm going through a rough patch. Work stress, family drama of my own. Maybe playing pretend for a weekend would be a good distraction. He grinned. Plus, you seem genuinely desperate, and I have a weakness for helping people in crisis. So, you'll do it? Min-jae couldn't believe his luck. Under one condition, Ji-hoon said, extending his hand. We do this properly. No half-assing it. If I'm going to be your fake boyfriend, we need to be convincing. That means practicing, building a backstory, the whole 9 yards. Min-jae shook his hand, relief flooding through him. Thank you. Seriously, you're saving my life. Don't thank me yet. You might regret this. Ji-hoon pulled out his phone. Here, follow me on Instagram. Study my profile so you can answer questions about me. I'll do the same with yours. They exchanged information, and Ji-hoon stood up to leave. I'll text you tomorrow. We'll meet up and start planning Operation Fake Boyfriend. This is going to be interesting. After Ji-hoon left, Min-jae sat there in disbelief. Had that really just happened? He opened Instagram and searched for Ji-hoon's profile. Park Ji-hoon, 28, architect. So, Min-jae scrolled through the photos. Ji-hoon at construction sites, Ji-hoon hiking, Ji-hoon at cafes. And then he saw it. A photo from 6 months ago. Ji-hoon with his arms slung around another man's shoulders, both of them laughing at the camera. The caption read, "Brothers for life. Love this guy at Lee Taehyun undersea." Min Jae's blood turned to ice. Lee Taehyun. His ex-boyfriend. The man who'd broken his heart 3 years ago and left him unable to trust anyone since. Ji-hoon was Taehyun's best friend. His phone buzzed. A text from Ji-hoon. "Can't wait to meet your family. This will be fun." Smiling face with smiling eyes. Min Jae stared at the message, his heart pounding. He should cancel. He should tell Ji-hoon the truth. He should do literally anything except continue with this disaster waiting to happen. But the thought of facing his mother empty-handed, of enduring another round of blind dates and pitying looks from relatives. What have I done? Min Jae whispered to himself. His phone buzzed again. Seo Jun, did you find someone? Mom's already planning the interrogation questions. Min Jae closed his eyes and made a decision he knew he'd probably regret. I found someone. It's all under control. Nothing, he realized, was under control at all. Min Jae couldn't do this. He stared at his phone, Ji-hoon's contact pulled up, his thumb hovering over the call button. He should cancel. He should tell Ji-hoon everything. But every time he tried to dial, his mother's voice echoed in his head. "Mrs. Park's dentist's son is still available." Coward, he muttered to himself, shoving the phone back in his pocket. Maybe Ji-hoon didn't talk to Taehyun often. Maybe Taehyun had never mentioned him. Maybe this could actually work if Min Jae just kept his mouth shut and played along. 3 days later, Min Jae met Ji-hoon at a quiet park to practice being a couple. "Okay, so how did we meet?" Ji-hoon asked, sitting close enough that their shoulders touched. "We need a good story." Coffee shop?" Min Jae suggested, hyper-aware of Ji-hoon's proximity. 3 months ago. You spilled coffee on my laptop, felt terrible, and offered to buy me dinner to apologize. I like it. Clumsy but charming. Ji-hoon grinned. "And our first kiss?" Min Jae's face heated. "Does anyone actually ask that?" "My mom would." Ji-hoon shifted closer, his hand finding Min Jae's. "We should practice this too. Hand-holding. Your family will expect it." His hand was warm, his grip gentle but confident. Min Jae's heart did an unwelcome flip. "You're really good at this," Min Jae said quietly. "At pretending?" Ji-hoon's smile softened. "Maybe I'm not pretending as much as you think." Before Min Jae could process that statement, his phone rang. His brother. "Min Jae, we have a problem," Seo Jun said without preamble. "I was helping Mom with the seating chart. Lee Taehyun is on the guest list. He's the best man. Did you know?" The world tilted. "What?" "Taehyun. He's Hannah's fiancé's best friend, apparently. Are you okay with this? Because I can tell Mom you're sick, we can?" "No," Min Jae said quickly, his stomach churning. "It's fine. It's been 3 years. I'm fine." "You're a terrible liar." Seo Jun sighed. "Just be careful, okay? And maybe give your fake boyfriend a heads up that your ex will be there." Min Jae hung up and stared at nothing, his mind racing. "Everything okay?" Ji-hoon asked, concern creasing his forehead. "Yeah. Just wedding stress." Min Jae forced a smile. "My brother's being overprotective." They spent 2 more hours perfecting their story, practicing casual touches, learning each other's coffee orders and favorite foods. With every minute, Min Jae felt himself sinking deeper into the lie, and worse, genuinely enjoying Ji-hoon's company. The rehearsal dinner arrived too fast. Min Jae's family descended on Ji-hoon like he was a celebrity. His mother clutched Ji-hoon's arm, asking about his job, his family, his intentions. His father actually smiled, something Min Jae rarely saw. Even his normally aloof grandmother patted Ji-hoon's hand approvingly. "He's perfect," Min Jae's mother whispered loudly. "Don't let this one go." Seo Jun caught Min Jae's eye across the table and mouthed, "You're screwed." Everything was going smoothly until Ji-hoon's phone buzzed during dinner. He glanced at it and his face lit up. "Sorry, just my best friend," Ji-hoon explained, showing Min Jae the screen. "We've been trying to meet up for weeks. He's at a wedding this weekend too. What a coincidence. Maybe after this, we can finally..." Min Jae stopped hearing words. He stared at the message preview. "Taehyun. Bro, I'm at a wedding this weekend too. Let's catch up after, it's been too long." "Min Jae? You okay?" Ji-hoon touched his arm. You look pale. Bathroom, Min-jae managed, standing abruptly. Excuse me. He barely made it outside before Seo-jun followed him. He doesn't know, Seo-jun said quietly. About you and Taehyun. You didn't tell him. I couldn't. Min-jae leaned against the wall. What was I supposed to say? Hey, thanks for agreeing to be my fake boyfriend. By the way, I used to date your best friend? Yes. Exactly that. Seo-jun grabbed his shoulders. Min-jae, this is going to explode tomorrow. Taehyun will see you two together and… I know. Min-jae's voice cracked. I know, okay? I needed this to work. Just for one weekend. But because of mom's matchmaking? Or because you're actually starting to like him? Min-jae didn't answer, which was answer enough. That night, Min-jae couldn't sleep. He stood on his hotel room balcony, staring at the city lights, trying to figure out how everything had gotten so complicated. Thought I might find you here. Min-jae turned to see Ji-hoon stepping onto the balcony, 2 cups of tea in his hands. Couldn't sleep either? Ji-hoon offered him a cup. You've been distant all evening. Did my charm offensive with your family backfire? No, you were perfect. Too perfect. Min-jae accepted the tea, their fingers brushing. That's kind of the problem. What do you mean? Min-jae wanted to tell him everything. The words were right there, pushing against his teeth. But Ji-hoon was looking at him with such genuine concern, such warmth, and Min-jae was selfish enough to want one more moment before it all fell apart. Nothing. Just nervous about tomorrow. Hey! Ji-hoon stepped closer, his hand gentle on Min-jae's cheek. Whatever you're worried about, we'll handle it together. That's what fake boyfriends are for, right? But his touch didn't feel fake. The way he looked at Min-jae didn't feel fake. And when Ji-hoon leaned in slightly, as if pulled by invisible strings, Min-jae forgot how to breathe. Min-jae! The voice came from behind them. They turned simultaneously. Taehyun stood in the doorway, his face draining of all color. His eyes moved from Min-jae to Ji-hoon, to their close proximity, to Ji-hoon's hand still hovering near Min-jae's face. Ji-hoon! Taehyun's voice was strangled. Wait. His eyes widened with realization. This can't be happening. Min-jae watched his carefully constructed lie crumble in real time. Taehyun. Ji-hoon looked confused. What are you doing here? I thought your wedding was… He stopped, looking between them. Wait, do you two know each other? The silence was deafening. Taehyun's jaw clenched. Know each other? Jun, that's… His voice broke. That's him. That's Min-jae. Understanding dawned on Ji-hoon's face, followed immediately by betrayal. Oh God, Ji-hoon breathed, stepping back from Min-jae. You're that Min-jae? And Min-jae knew, everything was about to fall apart. Ji-hoon, let me explain, Taehyun started, but Ji-hoon held up a hand. Not you. Him. Ji-hoon's eyes locked on Min-jae, cold and hurt. You knew. This whole time, you knew I was Taehyun's best friend, and you said nothing. I didn't know how to… How to what? Tell the truth. Ji-hoon's laugh was bitter. Was this some kind of game to you? Get back at your ex by using his best friend? No. It wasn't like that. Min-jae's voice cracked. I panicked. By the time I realized who you were, it was too late to… It's never too late to be honest. Ji-hoon looked at him like he was a stranger. I need to talk to Taehyun. Alone. Min-jae watched helplessly as Ji-hoon grabbed Taehyun's arm and pulled him inside. The door slammed shut, leaving Min-jae on the balcony with nothing but the sound of his own racing heartbeat. You want to tell me what the hell is going on? Ji-hoon demanded once they were in Taehyun's room. Min-jae, the guy you cried over for 6 months, is here, pretending to be someone's boyfriend? Taehyun paced like a caged animal. It's worse than that. He's pretending to be your boyfriend, isn't he? For his family? Ji-hoon's silence was confirmation enough. Damn it. Taehyun slammed his hand against the wall. Of all the people in Seoul, he chose you? My best friend. He didn't know. I didn't tell him about you. Ji-hoon stopped. Wait, you cried over him for 6 months. You told me breaking up with him was your biggest regret. So why did you end it? Taehyun sank onto the bed, his head in his hands. I was 25 and stupid. I thought I wasn't ready for something serious. I thought there'd be time to grow up first, that I could come back when I had my life together. He looked up, his eyes red. I didn't know he'd move on. That he'd hate me. Does he? Hate you? I don't know. But seeing him tonight, all those feelings came rushing back. I still love him. I never stopped. Ji-hoon felt sick. Taehyun, I know what you're going to say. That I had my chance. That I don't deserve another one. Taehyun stood, his jaw set with determination. But I have to try. I can't let him slip away again without fighting for him. And what about me? Taehyun froze. What about you? Never mind. Ji-hoon headed for the door. I need air. Wait, you don't have feelings for him, do you? Ji-hoon paused, his hand on the doorknob. Would it matter if I did? You saw him first, right? Best friend code. This isn't a joke. No, it's not. Ji-hoon's voice was quiet. It's a mess. And I'm done pretending for tonight. The next morning, Min-jae's eyes were red from lack of sleep. Seo-jun found him in the hotel restaurant, staring blankly at untouched coffee. You look terrible, Seo-jun said, sitting down. I'm guessing last night didn't go well? Ji-hoon won't return my calls. Taehyun keeps texting me. And the wedding ceremony is in 3 hours. Min-jae dropped his head to the table. How did I mess this up so badly? You want the honest answer or the supportive brother answer? Honest. You're an idiot, Seo-jun said bluntly. But not because you hired a fake boyfriend. Because you're too scared to see what's real. What's that supposed to mean? You felt something for Ji-hoon. Real feelings. But instead of dealing with that, you hid behind the fake relationship excuse. Seo-jun leaned forward. And now you're about to lose something that could have been genuine because you were too afraid to be honest. Min-jae wanted to argue but couldn't. His brother was right. The wedding ceremony was beautiful and torture. Min-jae sat with his family, acutely aware of the empty seat beside him where Ji-hoon should have been. His mother kept glancing at him with concern. Where's Ji-hoon, dear? He wasn't feeling well, Min-jae lied, his chest tight. At the altar, Taehyun stood as best man, looking devastatingly handsome in his suit. Throughout the ceremony, Min-jae felt Taehyun's eyes on him, intense, meaningful, searching. During the best man speech, Taehyun's voice was steady but emotional. Love isn't about perfect timing. It's about finding someone who makes you want to be better and having the courage to fight for them. His eyes locked with Min-jae's. It's about second chances and not letting fear stop you from saying what your heart knows is true. The guests applauded. Min-jae felt like he couldn't breathe. After the ceremony, Min-jae escaped to the garden, desperate for air. He was staring at the fountain when footsteps approached. Min-jae turned. Taehyun stood there, still in his suit, looking more vulnerable than Min-jae had ever seen him. That speech was for you. Every word. Taehyun stepped closer. I know I don't deserve this. I know I hurt you. But seeing you again made me realize I never moved on. I've dated other people, thrown myself into work, but nothing filled the space you left. Taehyun, it's been 3 years. I know. And I've regretted every single day. Taehyun's voice broke. I'm not asking you to forgive me right now. I'm just asking for a chance to prove I've changed. To show you that I'm ready now, for everything I was too scared to give you before. Min-jae's heart ached. This was everything he'd wanted to hear 3 years ago. Taehyun, vulnerable and honest, finally fighting for him. Leave with me, Taehyun said suddenly. Right now. We can go somewhere quiet, talk properly, start over. He's not going anywhere with you. They both turned. Ji-hoon stood at the garden entrance, his expression unreadable. Ji-hoon, Taehyun said carefully. This doesn't concern you. Actually, it does. Ji-hoon walked forward, his eyes never leaving Min-jae's face. Because I need to ask Min-jae something first. The air crackled with tension as Ji-hoon stopped in front of Min-jae, close enough that Min-jae could see the storm in his eyes. I need to know something, and I need you to be honest. Ji-hoon's voice shook slightly. Was any of it real for you? The hand-holding, the laughs, the way you looked at me on the balcony, was I just playing a role, or... He stepped closer, his eyes searching Min-jae's face. Or did you feel it too? Min-jae's breath caught. Behind Ji-hoon, Tae-hyun waited. Two paths. Two different futures. And only one answer that mattered. Min-jae's heart hammered against his ribs. Ji-hoon stood before him, vulnerable and waiting. Behind him, Tae-hyun watched with desperate hope. The entire garden seemed to hold its breath. Yes, Min-jae whispered, his eyes locked on Ji-hoon. It was real. All of it. Ji-hoon exhaled like he'd been holding his breath for days. I didn't mean for it to happen, Min-jae continued, his voice stronger now. I hired you to play a role, but somewhere between the coffee shop and practicing our fake story, you became more. The way you made me laugh, the way you actually listened when I talked about art, how you held my hand like it mattered. His voice cracked. I was terrified because falling for my ex's best friend seemed like the worst possible idea. Min-jae. Tae-hyun started, but Ji-hoon held up a hand. Let him finish. Min-jae turned to face Tae-hyun, and for the first time in 3 years, he looked at his ex without the weight of old pain crushing his chest. Tae-hyun, 3 years ago, I would have given anything to hear what you just told me. I waited for months hoping you'd realize you made a mistake. Min-jae's eyes glistened. But you didn't come back. And eventually, I had to accept that the person I loved didn't love me enough to stay. I was wrong, Tae-hyun said urgently. I was stupid and scared, but I've changed. I know you have. And I forgive you. Min-jae's voice was gentle but firm. But forgiveness doesn't mean going backward. You loved who I was 3 years ago, the version of me that waited by the phone, that made excuses for your distance, that convinced himself being with you was enough even when it wasn't. Tae-hyun's face crumbled. And Ji-hoon? He knows who you are now. Min-jae looked at Ji-hoon, whose eyes held a mixture of hope and fear. He sees me, the messy, anxious person who lies to his family and makes terrible decisions. He saw me at my most desperate and didn't run away. Min-jae's voice softened. He made me feel like maybe I could be brave enough to want something real. This is insane, Tae-hyun said, his voice tight. Ji-hoon, you're really going to do this? Choose someone you've known for 2 weeks over our friendship? Ji-hoon stepped forward, his expression pained but resolute. I never betrayed you, Tae-hyun. I didn't know about your history with Min-jae. But my feelings are real, and I'm not going to apologize for them. He paused. You had your chance. You walked away. And yes, maybe that makes me a terrible friend, but I won't let Min-jae walk away from something that could be incredible just because of bad timing. Bad timing? Tae-hyun laughed bitterly. You mean because I saw him first? No. Because you let him go. Ji-hoon's voice was steady. And I won't make that same mistake. The silence stretched between them, heavy with the weight of a friendship fracturing in real time. Finally, Tae-hyun's shoulders sagged. I can't believe this is happening. He looked at Min-jae one last time. I really did love you. I hope you know that. I do, Min-jae said softly. And I hope someday you find someone who you're ready for from the beginning. Tae-hyun nodded, his jaw clenched against emotion. He looked at Ji-hoon. I need time. Don't contact me for a while, okay? Okay, Ji-hoon said quietly. They watched Tae-hyun walk away, his silhouette disappearing into the wedding reception. Min-jae felt the finality of it, a chapter truly closing. Did we just destroy your oldest friendship? Min-jae asked, guilt twisting his stomach. Maybe. Probably. Ji-hoon turned to him, a sad smile on his lips. But I meant what I said. My feelings for you are real, Min-jae. And I'd rather lose a friend who let someone incredible slip away than lose the chance to be with you. That's possibly the most romantic and terrifying thing anyone's ever said to me. Too much. Not enough. Min-jae closed the distance between them. Kiss me. For real this time. No audience, no performance. Ji-hoon cupped Min-jae's face with both hands, his touch reverent. Are you sure? Because once we do this, there's no more pretending. I'm done pretending. The kiss was soft at first, tentative, two people discovering something new and precious. Then Ji-hoon's arms wrapped around Min-jae's waist, pulling him closer, and Min-jae's hands tangled in Ji-hoon's hair, and it was nothing like their practice touches. It was real and messy and perfect. When they finally broke apart, both breathless, Seo-jun's voice came from behind them. Finally! He was leaning against a tree, grinning. Mom's been watching from the window. She's crying happy tears. Also, she wants to know if she should still introduce you to Mrs. Park's dentist's son, or... Seo-jun. Min-jae's face burned. I'm taking that as a no. Seo-jun walked over and clapped Ji-hoon on the shoulder. Welcome to the family, fake boyfriend. Or should I say real boyfriend? Real, Ji-hoon said, smiling at Min-jae. Definitely real. 3 months later, Min-jae sat at their coffee shop, the one where they'd first crashed into each other, watching Ji-hoon order at the counter. They came here every Sunday now, a tradition that had somehow become sacred. Ji-hoon returned with 2 lattes and a mischievous smile. So, when do I get to fake date you for my family? Min-jae laughed. Who said anything about fake? Good answer. Ji-hoon leaned across the table and kissed him, sweet and brief and entirely theirs. As they left hand in hand, Min-jae's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. No, not unknown. Taehyun. I'm happy for you both. Really. Take care of each other. Min-jae showed Ji-hoon the message. Ji-hoon's expression softened with relief and lingering sadness. Do you think he means it? Min-jae asked. I hope so. He deserves to be happy too. Ji-hoon squeezed Min-jae's hand. But right now, I'm more concerned with making sure you're happy. I am, Min-jae said, and realized he meant it completely. For the first time in years, I really am. They walked through the Seoul streets as autumn leaves fell around them, 2 people who'd found something real in the middle of a beautiful lie. And Min-jae thought about how sometimes the most unexpected detours led exactly where you needed to be. His phone buzzed again. His mother, dinner next week? Ji-hoon's mother wants to meet us. Smiling face with smiling eyes, red heart. Min-jae groaned. My mom wants to set up a parent meeting. Ji-hoon laughed, bright and genuine. Well, at least this time it's real. No pretending necessary. No pretending, Min-jae agreed, standing on his toes to kiss Ji-hoon's cheek. Just us. And in that moment, surrounded by falling leaves and the buzz of the city, with Ji-hoon's hand warm in his, Min-jae knew he'd finally found what he'd been searching for, not a fake boyfriend to fool his family, but a real love that felt like coming home.